On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Bronx sexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! Woo! I forgot to push a button. That's why I'm a couple minutes behind schedule, but here we are. Good morning. Welcome to the Totally Deets Tripped Out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. 10:05 is your time. And we are presented by BetUS.com. Hey, sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sports book is back and in our 30th year of action with live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds, boosters, props, and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service. Hey, we got it all. And when you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get a 125% deposit match. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Chris Dietz is on the way as we're going to get Totally Dietz talking media corruption. And there are two very, very important events in college football going on, and they are covered two different ways. We're not going to waste any time, and I know Cole's going to yell at me for this. I will do the whip around. I will do the feature story on Jonathan Taylor. Wize El Jefe is set to join me. I will do all of that, I promise, during this hour. But right now, I'm going to call an audible, and I'm going to flip this hour around, and we're going to get Totally Deets.
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally
This one has a chance!
Deets.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Here he is, folks, the master of the Fifth Down Sports Show and the master of ceremonies for setting the scene and the summer of greatness. The Fifth Down Sports Show is a part of the Snowman Multimedia Sports Net, and you can hear it each and every week with a replay each and every week as well. Here he is, folks. He's a man. He's 40. He's Chris Dietz. He joins right now. Good morning, sir. Glad to have you.
Good morning, Snowman. What a great start to the day. I mean,
yeah, man. Hey, listen. I want to throw you some flowers right now. I love talking sports with you. I love talking to you. You've been there for me as a friend over these past 7 years, especially the time I was beating up cancer. And I want to say thank you. I love you. I love Fifth Down. I loved it since its inception. And I'm proud to announce once again that the Fifth Down Sports Show, the new season, will be a part of Snowman Multimedia Sports Net with a live version and a full replay on both the video and audio network. So, again, welcome. Thank you for almost 7 seasons of Fifth Down, and thank you for being a friend.
And don't forget Saturdays.
Oh, Saturdays are gonna be off the charts, man. Put the cat out of the bag and tell them what Deets and I are doing.
I can't wait for Saturday college football. And I it's funny because I was listening to the last time I hosted the Brian Snow Show, which was when Victor and I were on.
Yeah.
And we were discussing it, and we were discussing, you and I were discussing the games that we would cover.
Yes.
And you said in it, and it caught my attention last night just because I was listening to the replay. You said one of the games you wanted to do was Florida, Georgia. And
I want the cocktail party.
And I thought to myself, I said, when I do Georgia, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know. I may go full Scott Howard and just every single call just say, well, the dogs are on this and the dogs are on that. Or I may just to counterbalance the dogs call, because I know how the dogs are going to call it. I may counterbalance them with the Gators are doing this, the Gators are doing that, the Gators are doing that. I haven't quite figured out which way I want to memorialize the immortal Scott Howard. Scott Howard is great with his call, but like I said, I listened to them do the national championship game, and it was after the first quarter, I was just laughing every time they would just say, the dogs are driving here, the dogs are driving there, the dogs are doing this, and I was like, what are the Horned Frogs doing? Because I have no idea what the other team is doing right now.
They were blowing the Horned Frogs out for lack of for all intents and purposes, man. But Scott Howard, the legendary voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, who of course took over for Larry Munson when he passed away. Great voice. I love listening to him.
Great. He's great. And like I said, it would be total jest, but it would be totally out of respect for what they do. Because the way they call the game, it's totally I implore everybody, if you ever watch a Georgia game, put on the Georgia broadcast.
Find the Georgia broadcast.
It is a totally different experience, and it's a great thing.
It's a great time.
I don't want to get anybody. I don't want to get anybody like, I'm feeling they do it bad. They do what they do, and it works for them.
Yes,
for them it works, and it's awesome. But I do have to. I think the counterbalance would be perfect.
It would be. So it would be.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, you got Brad Nessler on the television call for CBS, and then the legendary Scott Howard for the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, and I think Learfield carries them. So it's going to be fun. I want that. That's one that I want. I'm all for it. Speaking of the media and all of it, so I gave you the two topics. Yeah.
So I'll defer to you. Which one do you want to start with?
Start with Coach Prime.
All right.
Let's start with Coach Prime and Colorado making an immediate jump to the Big 12.
Coach Prime and Colorado, and first off, we have to say breaking news as of 12 hours ago.
Yeah,
Colorado is now in talks with the powers that be to go back to the Big 12.
Yeah,
leave the Pac-12 and go back to the Big 12. And just to say this to Colorado, you're about 5 years too late on this.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that you want to play with in the Big 12 is leaving. Nebraska's already gone. Texas is leaving. Oklahoma's leaving.
Oklahoma's gone.
Everybody's piecing out, and you're coming back to the Big 12.
Texas is gone. Oklahoma is gone. Missouri is gone. Who else? Those are three big. Those are their three big games.
Yeah, they're big. They're big eight. All their big eight rivals, which is
are leaving.
They've either left or are already out the door.
Yep.
So good for them. And I would say good for them because they don't belong in the Pac-12.
No,
they don't belong in the Pac-12.
They had
And-
no success in any sport in the Pac-12.
And so
None.
it's good. And so I'd be happy as a fan, as just a fan of college football. I'd be happy to see them back in the Big 12 and have the Big 12 as their home base. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
However, Coach Prime, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Now I've got everybody. I'm going to show it. I'll promote it. This is my guide to college football for the year that I'm using to get my rosters and get all my stuff.
That's Athlon, isn't it?
This is the Athlon Sports preview. There are plenty of previews out there. There are plenty of good ones. Lindy's is a good one that I saw.
If I gotta order that, I will lay my hands on it in 2 weeks' time. I will lay my hands on it in 2 weeks' time. Doggone it! That's my goal.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to order it, they sell it at Walmart. I was going through it. I was like, oh, I'll take that. So, but I've seen the Lindy's one at Walmart. I've seen the Lindy's one at Walgreens. I've seen, any bookstore will have probably like 5 or 6 more. Probably the Phil Wright one, which is the one I used last year, which is really good. It's just really extensive and gives you a lot of background that you really don't need. I mean, this is like this is like this thick, and that it's really all you need. But I want to focus on one thing here and see if you can focus on this. This is on the front cover. And I don't know if you can see the what it says.
I see
Coach Prime takes the FBS by storm. Yeah. This is the title. This is the title of the article. Now, I want to ask you, Snowman, because you're in journalism and you've been in journalism a lot longer than I have.
Yes, sir.
But does that sound like an author that's going to have an objective view?
Hell no.
Absolutely not, right? Like
I've been in this game 30 years practically. You see a title like that, you know where if you have a journalistic mind, and I know you do, and I know plenty of our friends do, you see a title like that, you know where the focus is going, and it ain't on the team. That's too easy. Too easy.
No, this is what's funny about this, and I kind of wish Cole was here, because I know Cole is involved in a lot of these in a lot of meetings with his other job. He's involved with a lot of meetings and editor meetings.
Yep.
Because this article, and I don't know the writer. This is my first time reading him, so but to have that title, have an editor get that, and have an editor pass it through.
Yeah.
I just want like when you write an article like this, usually you're like, all right, let me go interview some people, see what people are saying about about this topic, and then take your interviews and form your article off the quotes you have. Let me read you a direct quote from a coach that is highlighted in the article, not only in the article, but highlighted on the page as standing out. And let me tell you again, it says again, the title of this article is Coach Prime takes the FBS by storm, right?
Yes.
The circus isn't. This is from a Pac-12 assistant coach. The circus is in town, and you can have a real good time, but the circus does 2 things: they take your money and they leave. Does that sound like a quote that backs up that Coach Prime is taking the FBS by storm?
Not a chance.
Not at all. Not at all. Let me say this: a college football agent, which I don't even know what that means. I don't know what a college football agent is. I'm guessing that's I'm guessing that's a recruiting guy who
I guess
funnels kids through. That would be my only thing.
I guess
If he wins at Colorado, no one thinks he's staying. That's for sure. He can trade a 10-win season there for a better P5 job, or maybe goes to the NFL. It's not that crazy. Do these sound like quotes that back up he's taking the FBS by storm? These are all quotes of people who are just jealous of Prime.
And what he's done.
But they don't back up the situation. They don't back up the theory of Coach Prime is taking
the FBS by storm.
First of all, I want everybody to understand. Takes the FBS by storm.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado has not played a game yet.
No.
And he's not played a game yet.
And they're coming off of for what?
How are you taking? So that's what caught my attention is, all right, Prime is taking the FBS. Let me see what he's done.
Right.
All right. So he's brought transfers in. There are other coaches that have brought transfers.
Plenty of transfers.
I can point to Lincoln Riley last year who brought 22 transfers to USC when he went from Oklahoma to USC.
Including Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you got including the eventual Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm.
So
if Brock Bowers don't get it first.
no.
We're talking about this past season. Okay.
Last year he brought Caleb Williams with him.
He brought the Heisman Trophy winner.
Got him to win the Heisman, and now has a chance to go back. Be the first to go back to back since Archie Griffin. We all know that.
Yes.
But this is what makes this article so ridiculous. Is the author is giving you all of this information about what Prime has done in recruiting, what Coach Prime has done to bring celebrity to the coaching. Meanwhile, every single quote they have from anybody here is about Prime's not really a coach. He's just there. He's just using Colorado to go somewhere else. That's what every single quote is about.
And that's stupid.
What the hell? What the hell? It defeats your purpose. Like, I don't understand, and that's why I said I wish Cole was here, because anyone who saw this writing would, any editor worth a dime would have said your article doesn't match. Your article is fighting against itself. You're saying one thing, and then all your quotes prove a completely different thing.
Well, it proves jealousy among anything else. It proves jealousy among the coach. It's nowhere near attached to the title of your article. And to bring up a very important point that you made, Deets, Colorado hasn't hit the field yet.
They haven't hit the field.
Hype.
And here's the funniest part of this. And for that, I'm going to turn to the back of this. All right. So remember the title of the article. Takes the FBS by storm.
Mm-hmm.
By storm. Okay?
Yes.
Here's the rub. Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes, they may not win a game until Halloween.
Right.
The season starts on Labor Day.
2nd. Yep.
It starts on Labor Day.
This starts on Labor Day.
They may not win. They may not win a game until Halloween.
Because I believe they open with TCU, do they not?
Let me read you off. Let me read you off their opening schedule, and somebody tell me where there's a win in here. Let me read off their schedule. As I look to the pack. Here we go. I got to look to the Pac-12 because I'm not used to this from them. Right. All right, here we go. So they open at TCU, a team coming off a berth in the national
championship. Mm-hmm.
And this is in Fort Worth. They're not winning that.
In Fort Worth.
I can guarantee you right now, Colorado is 19.5-point underdogs, and if they even sniff that would be a monumental win. Okay?
If they even sniff the end zone against TCU, that would be a monumental win.
If they don't lose by 40, it's a win for them. Okay, if they don't get blown out by 40. All right. Here's game 2. Game 2 is the one we've been calling for, and one that we'll see what time this game is. If this is a 4:30 game, this may be our opener.
Our kickoff. Yep.
Colorado, Nebraska. Nebraska going to Colorado.
And keep in mind, folks, both of those are noon kickoffs. It's a noon kickoff in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a noon kickoff in Boulder for their first 2 games.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a noon kickoff. I thought maybe it would be I thought maybe they would.
I thought it would be. Afternoon. Well, they list this at noon. It may flip. It may flip. But
especially with Colorado, Nebraska, with Matt Rule being in Nebraska, with Prime being there, I thought maybe they would flip this game to a night. I thought this would probably be the night game.
I thought this would be an afternoon game too. So, game 3, they host Colorado State.
Game 3, Colorado State. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this right now: Colorado State is a great team in the WAC. They're in the Mountain West. In the Mountain West. They have a great Mountain West team. Mm-hmm. Prime, you're not winning that. You're not winning that game either. And that game, it says that it's a home game. That game is usually played at Invesco Field.
It'll be at Mile High Stadium.
It's usually a 50-50. It's usually a 50-50 split. So
yep. Let me say hi to some people in the Fanatics feedback zone. To Jonathan Safel, who's joining Snowman Multimedia Sportsnet with his show. Good morning to Ryan McCoffey, as well as A Pizzle. Victor Locke is here. And, of course, welcome to Thomas O'Boyle from CSTV out in Reno, Nevada. CSTV, one of our prime network carriers, television network carriers of the show. But the third game is at Mile High Stadium.
And after Colorado State, this is where it gets crazy. Why they decided to do Colorado this dirty, I have no idea. But
because they go to Autzen Stadium next.
For their first game, for Prime's first Pac-12 game, has to be in Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. One of the worst stadiums for a road team to go to. And they send him there for his first Pac-12 game. First Pac-12 game, Dion, here you go. Go play the Ducks.
That's just Oregon. Foul.
Not a good.
That's just plain foul.
Not a good one.
All right, just plain foul.
All right.
And then after Oregon,
all right. So you're like, all right, your first game, you're going to go on the road and you're going to get a pounding. Mm-hmm. So maybe the second game, your first home game in the Pac-12, maybe we'll give you somebody else. How about we give you USC with everything I've been talking with Lincoln Riley, with Caleb Williams. If they don't hang 50 on them, I'll be surprised.
Boulder. And this is in Boulder.
This is in Boulder.
Then that's September 30th. Then October 7th, they go to Tempe, Arizona, and face Arizona State.
They go to the desert. Another game. If that were in Boulder, I would say, all right, maybe they have a chance. In the desert, in Tempe. I'm more tempted to go Arizona State than I am.
And then October 13th, with a 10 p.m. Eastern time kickoff, all the times I'm saying are Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, they get the Stanford Cardinal in the midst of a new regime.
That might be their first win. You're looking at Columbus Day, their first win. Again, taking the FBS by storm.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the FBS by storm. Think about what we just said. We just went through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
They could be out of bowl contention by Columbus
Day.
Day.
October 7th.
By Columbus Day, they could not. They'll be out of bowl contention. That's 6 losses. You're done. And
after Stanford, they get a week. After Stanford, they get a week off, and then they go to Los Angeles. They go to Pasadena.
They go to the Rose. They go to the Rose Bowl. They go to the Rose Bowl to take on Chip Kelly and the UCLA Bruins.
Yep.
And the reason why they're done after that is because we already said 6 games. They also end the season. They end the season at Utah.
Yeah,
they're not winning. They're not winning that game. This is the defending Pac-12 champ, 2-time defending champion.
And then November 11th, they face a pissed off Arizona team that finally broke a couple of losing streaks, and they're on the rise. Shameless plug for those of you watching on CSTV tonight at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, part 1 of the season finale of Next Level Pro Wrestling of their all steel cage event. Check it out. I will check it out and let us know what you think about Next Level Pro Wrestling. We're totally deets. We're talking about Coach Prime taking the FBS by storm, which he's not. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, there's a second half to this to this segment, and we'll explain the media corruption and how it is on both sides. Back in a couple.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
CSTV will air the Big Three, and I'll call the doggone games. Ice Cube, bring your show out west, and we'll handle it. I am making a public plea right now. You want some fair coverage? CSTV will air your games, all of them. And I'll call as many as I can. We'll do a simulcast, television and radio. It's an area I know best. Television and radio. And yeah, I'm putting it all the way out there. So you know what, Ice Cube? I'll make this plea right now. Me, a small-time YouTuber, a small-time broadcaster, according to a lot of people, which I don't listen to. Put your games on CSTV. Put your games on CSTV. Give us a little funding, and we'll do the rest.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Your afternoons just got better with the Brian Snow Show. Weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride, folks.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-973-6121.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Okay, we're back. 32 after the hour, and I read something in the chat that feeds into the subject of the media hype, because I can tell you this is going to get a lot of media hype. Ryan McCoffey gives us this. So the Titans announced the 2 dates they were wearing their Oiler unis. October 20th versus Atlanta and December 17th versus the Houston Texans. Oh boy.
That Houston Texans game is just a slap in the face. That is a slap in the face to the city of Houston. Not only are we gonna wear the Oilers jerseys, but we're gonna do it against your team. You couldn't be dumber. You couldn't be dumber, NFL.
But how much media hype is gonna go into this, since that's your subject?
The media is probably going to media in Houston is going. Cole knows this better than anybody else. Mm-hmm. They're going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their minds. I mean,
they're going to go crazy.
But for me, if I were a Houston fan, I would boycott that game. I wouldn't even watch that. I wouldn't even watch that game. I don't care that my team's involved. I would say I'm not watching another team wear our uniforms. That's not happening. I don't care. I'll find another game. I'll go watch something else because that's a slap in the face to the fans of Houston.
I won't even watch the highlights. I won't even watch the highlights. They're either tone deaf or trolling, says Ryan McCarthy. I'm thinking both.
I'm thinking, yeah. Well, the NFL is tone deaf, and the NFL should have shot that down right away and been like, "No, you're not."
And they did, and they didn't. They allowed it to happen. When the schedule came out, is one thing, but they allowed this to happen.
Yeah, I've said this a million times. If I were made commissioner of the National Football League, day one, I would say, Houston, you get the Oilers uniforms back. You get
everything
Houston,
Oilers.
Your navy blue color. Scrap that. You're going with. You can stay with the Texans logo. You can stay with the Texans stuff, but everything you do is Houston Oiler blue. That's
that. I'd go one step further.
It's okay. Like I understand if they don't want to use the old school. Like if they want to use the old school logo, that's fine. You know, if they want to stay with the new Texans and stay with that, that's fine. But your colors are going to be the old. You know, if you want to go with the full blue, you're going to go with Houston Oiler blue.
Columbia
That's
blue.
Your color.
Columbia blue.
Yeah.
I'd go one step further. I'd tell Houston, you're getting the Oilers back. The Titans have their history. They can keep their history, but everything that's historic with the Houston Oilers is coming back home to Houston. That'd be the first thing I'd do.
Yeah, I mean, when you see when you see the Oilers, when you see the Titans come out, I mean, is anybody going to think of, oh, I'm thinking of Earl Campbell? Like, no, you think of Earl Campbell in the Astrodome. You don't think of him coming out, and you don't think of any of these guys in Nashville. Like, you have your own. You have your own. You've made your own mark there. The Titans have made it farther than the Houston Oilers ever did. They played in the Super Bowl. Celebrate your history.
Damn you, Cole. I did not push that button, folks. Trust me. Oh, heavens. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, the Titans, celebrate your Titans.
Yes.
Celebrate your Titans legacy. You don't have to do this. This is a bad idea. Now, the Atlanta game, I'm not intrigued to see the Titans wear it. I want to see what the Falcons are going to wear. Because the Falcons have already gone back to the old red helmets, which
yes, they've done that several times.
Go to the black, get the all black, get the Andre Rison jerseys.
Jerry Glanville jerseys.
Yeah, go with those jerseys for that game, and maybe we got something, but Tennessee Titans, you're not the Houston Oilers like that. But to do it against Houston, when they first announced that, I laughed so hard. I said, "Oh my God, they can't be doing it.
It's a troll job. It's a troll job.
Can't do it."
Okay.
Speaking of troll jobs,
yes, sir.
So I saw this, and I see Playmaker is in the chat, and I came onto this because I got a notification of Playmaker commenting on this, and it came up, and I looked at what he was commenting on, and he was commenting on the fact that your Northwestern Wildcats were not present at Big Ten Media Day, and I want to be the first. I want to be the first to say this. because no one else is saying this, and everybody else in the media has gone absolutely nuclear on this.
Yeah, they have.
It's reached to everybody else, but I want to say this. Northwestern, thank you. Thank you for skipping media day.
Yes.
Thank you for not letting that, and we talked about the circus before. It would have been absolute chaos had they been.
It'd have been crazy.
Had they been there, it would have been chaos. And what is media day for, Snowman? What is media day in college football for? It is to promote. It is to promote the players and the teams that are going to be. It's on the field stuff.
Yes.
Now, I know you love the Price is Right, so we'll play we'll play this Price is Right rules. Had Northwestern gone to media day, and these national media people who are outraged that they weren't that Northwestern wasn't there, they're outraged by it. It
they are.
Their core.
Yep.
How can they not come face the media? Blah blah. Blah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
How many questions do you think Northwestern would have fielded about football? How many football questions?
None. I'll answer none.
I'll say this. I looked this up. The Vegas over-under was 0.5, and I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the under.
Okay. I'm taking the under on that. There is no way any of those media people, they were not going to ask a question about who's going to be the quarterback for Northwestern. Who's going to run the football? What is your offense going to look like? None of those questions were going to be asked. Everything was going to be asked.
Had they approved my request, had they approved my request to go cover media day in Indianapolis, and this is the second day thereof, I'd have talked nothing but football. Listen, the scandal, and it's a scandal. It's a full-blown scandal. The scandal is nothing to play with. But the media days are there to promote the kids and the football teams and football activities. There would have been no questions, none, except mine.
And you know what? You know what they would have got out of that? You know what the answer the answer would have been? It's under investigation. We can't talk about it. That would have been. They would have said that about 300 times, and everybody would say, "Oh, see, they're not answering questions." It was better that they just weren't there and everybody could just focus on the game. So thank you to them for not going. And to the Big Ten commissioner, this is the same commissioner. Look, he's done great things off the field. He's done great things off the field, bringing USC and UCLA in. Like, great. Right. Everything he's done on the field has been absolutely awful.
Terrible.
This is the same guy who told Nebraska during COVID, if you play a game, we'll kick you out of the league. If you play football during COVID, we're going to kick you out of the league. This is what he said. But this guy said, he came out and he made a statement. No, Northwestern will not be participating. No, you're the commissioner. You should have said, media, I specifically asked Northwestern to not participate in this. This is my decision. And I told them we need to focus. I said the media needs to focus on the kids on the field. And that's what I want this to be about. And that's why I asked them not to be here and take the full brunt of that. He's the commission. You're the commissioner for a reason. The commissioner takes those shots.
He wasn't taking that shot. He didn't have the nuts to take that shot.
Because instead he threw a program that has been in the Big Ten since their inception. Since they created it, he took that program and just threw them under the bus. Yeah, they're not here today. And what did everybody say? I saw everybody, they should have been there. They should have been there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, the minute I saw everybody saying this, and I was like, do you understand what this is about? All these people that have said they should be here and they should be facing questions. I guarantee you not one of those people wanted to ask a football question What they
Nope.
wanted to do was virtue signal their own feelings, and they wanted to get their pound of flesh out of Northwestern.
They wanted to light Northwestern up.
Now, if you want to do that, schedule, and Northwestern will do this at some point. They will have a press conference where they release all the information that they need to do.
Oh yeah,
that will happen when the investigation is settled and they have everything, all their ducks in a row, and then all these people that have said they should have been at media day, they can go to Evanston and they can sit in that room and then they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Media day is not the day for that. It's a time for the kid. It's a time to promote the kids that are playing and the kids that deserve the spotlight.
And it would have been a bad blank storm.
And
it would have been awful.
And that's the funny thing is that all these people that have said, "Oh, we're standing up for the kids." Really? You wanted to stand up for the kids, but yet you wanted to take the spotlight away from them by having Northwestern there, by virtue signaling to them, by getting on your soapbox and spouting your stuff about everything that's gone on with this, with hazing is bad and it was racist and all of these non-founded things that have come out that have just been thrown out there without. I mean, we went over this on the Brian Snow show when I hosted for you, and we talked about it. We talked about this then, and this was months ago. This was probably a month ago when the story first broke, and I said they were just waiting to get to this. That's why they wanted him there. They wanted them there so they could make them pump their chest and make themselves look good. That's not the job of the media. The media's job is to put a spotlight on the upcoming season. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants out of their media day. They don't want you to sit there and spout off about your, however you feel about some situation that has nothing to do with with football on the field.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing to do with foot. Nothing.
There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time to talk about this. Not when you're trying to promote a season. This is not the time. So as I said, thank you to Northwestern for not going. And Big Ten commissioner, you should have taken the brunt of this. You should have said, it's my decision. You want to argue with somebody? Come argue with me. Come argue with me and tell me I should have had them there because I told them not to come. I told them not to come because I want you all to focus on the game on the field and not this crap that's going on. We'll deal with that when it comes.
Yeah.
That's what somebody who cares about the league would have said. That's what somebody who cares about the Big Ten and cares about the kids in the Big Ten. That's what somebody would have said. And that's,
Well, Ryan McCarthy said there's a time for investigative reporting.
And as far as tying this to the story we had previously, the funny thing about what. No, go ahead. Finish the quote. Yeah, Ryan's right. Ryan's absolutely right. There's a time and a place. Media Day is not that place.
Media Day is not that place.
But to connect these two stories, we have one story where an article is just blatantly is just hyping is through the moon hyping something that hyping up Coach Prime when he hasn't even coached a game yet and hasn't even looked like. I want that author. I wish I could get that author. I want to have him on October 13th when Colorado's 0-6 and say, what now? Where's your article now? what's your article saying about Colorado now? Because you wrote this article before they even played a game. And
right.
I mean, literally, if they win 2 games, before, if they win 2 of those games, that's monument. That would be monumental. That'd be a monumental success.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
If they can win just 2 of those games.
But I don't see it.
And they still wouldn't be bowl eligible because they still have Utah and UCLA down the road, and Oregon State, and all of them.
They host Utah. They host Utah.
I mean, where is this article going to be at the end of
and they're on the road at UCLA.
When Colorado's best is 4 and. They're on the road for both. They're on the road I'm sorry. USC couldn't even get a win at Utah last year. So going at Utah is not something to scoff at. That is a tough place to play. The media wants to hype Coach Prime because they love the celebrity. But that just shows corruption in the system. And it's like I pointed out, the author, not only did they wrote their article, then they got their quotes, and none of their quotes match what they said in the article. Like,
no, they don't.
How you sat in a room, I remember this because I took a sports journalism class, and this is why I can never be a journalist ever. I can never be a journalist in my life. I took a sports journalism class, and we had to do one of these, editor mock-up things where we're talking about an article. We're talking about articles that we want to write and whatever. And the guys started pitching ideas and talking about stuff, and I just stood up in the middle of the class and went, "This is BS," and I just flipped. I flipped the table over, and I went out of the room, and I went, "I'm out of here." My best friend was in the class. I walked out, and I just left. And the guy caught up to me at the teacher came out after me, and it's like, "What was that about?" I was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of." None of these people are pitching ideas that have anything to do with the quotes that we're reading. They're trying to write an article and they don't have any of the information. The information doesn't match. How can you write? You can't write an article that way. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a sports journalist. I'm taking this class as an elective. I don't care. I'm not sitting here for an hour because you guys want to talk about stupid BS. This is stupid. And I just walked out. And I was like, I can't do this. And the funny thing is, he goes, the professor, who was awesome, my man Dan Gilday, he goes, "Can you go back in the classroom and say that exact thing?" And I was like, "I'll tell these people to their face that they don't know what the hell they're doing." And he's like, "They need to hear this because you're the person they're writing for." And I said, and that's what I said when I went back in. I said, "You're not writing for the other writers. You're writing for regular people. Regular people are going to read this, and they're going to think you're an idiot because they're going to read your quotes and go, these quotes don't match. These quotes don't have any. You contradict everything that you're saying. Everything you're saying is being contradicted by the experts that you interviewed. You have to write. If you're going to write the story, you have to write based on theirs. I mean, if this author passed this story across my desk, I would have said, "All right." I would have said, "All right, guy, you got some good stuff here, but we're not going to say taking the FBS, but so we're going to say Coach Prime upsets the establishment of college football.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we can present it as all the good things that Prime's doing, and we can promote, and we can put the quotes in there that say the establishment coaches do not like the celebrity, and we can get the best of both worlds here. But instead, they just wanted to promote Prime. They just wanted to promote Prime for some reason. I would love to know the reasoning behind this.
I'd love to know it too.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like that's why I always say, and that's why I always say on Fifth Down Sports. That's why we don't do preseason polls. We don't do recruiting. We don't talk about teams until the season starts, because who cares who cares what these teams look like on paper? I want to see what they look like in a game. On
the field. Yeah,
and I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to judge teams based on the first. We watch them play the first week of the season, and we're like, well, this team, we thought they were going to be good, and they play like crap, and we're like, well, that team's crap. Well, what happens if they come out in the second week and they actually play like the team that we thought they were? 4 weeks to say, all right, this is what they really are. Are they really this good, or are they that bad? And that's what we're going to get from Prime. I mean, I guarantee you there are going to be people out there that say, when TCU, there are going to be people that say, see, Coach Prime's not ready for the league. And I'm like, you understand? Colorado won one game last year. And they're playing a team that was just in the national championship game as a measuring stick of, this is what that team's going to be. Same way, if they hang with TCU and then come out the next week, you're back to square one. You've got to see the same. You've got to see the same thing replicated before you can go, all right, that's what this team is. That's what this author. Oh, Colorado. I mean, what do you think that expectation is? If to here takes the FBS by storm, pushing for a Pac-12 North title, and I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
And they got Colorado, and they got Colorado. Like you said,
I've always said this:
for
if you're
Pac-12
taking over
North
a program, if you're a coach, if you're a coach and you take over a program, your number one goal is win more than you did last year, which Colorado, not hard. One game. All you got to do is win two. Win two, and you've won more than you did last year.
Right.
But your goal is to build your team competently. I mean, we've seen guys go in and have great first season. They come in at first season. They took over a team that was crappy last year, but had a lot of guys come back and maybe a different scheme or whatever. And all of a sudden, oh, look, that team made a bowl game. They're never ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And Playmaker, you're absolutely right. They did do that to Florida last year. They did that to Florida last year because they beat Utah on a 2-point conversion.
On a 2-point
on a late play, on a very late play. Oh my God, Florida's great, and then the wheels fell off
fast. They fell off fast. We're approaching halftime here.
So
on Snowman,
I mean,
with Cole Johnson.
But this is what the media does. This is what the media does. They pump up who they like, and they use who they don't like, as in Northwestern. They beat them down.
Yeah, they
do. That's
beat them down.
That's the corruption of media. But you know what? I want to leave you with this, because
All right.
this is the bright side of mainstream media corruption. The bright side is, because of their corruption, shows like Snowman in the Morning, shows like Fifth Down Sports, shows like No Credentials Required, we exist because they're so bad. Because everyone sees it now. Everyone sees what they're doing. And that's why people come to us and allow us to set things straight. So that's the silver lining in this, is we're here to steer you right. So everybody, subscribe to Snowman Media, subscribe to Fit Down Sports, subscribe to Playmaker, subscribe to Cold Sports, subscribe to all of these, because we're going to give you the real stuff, not pump up who we like, not beat down who we don't like. We're going to tell you what we like, we're going to tell you what the real news is. And that's it.
And that's what we do. Thank you, Deeds. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
After this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2, the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2,
Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2, Wize El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it. What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. Oh man, I thought I missed it. I had to run and get a second cup of coffee. Hour 2 begins with this man. No betting.
No betting. The man who is jumping up and down that the Yankees split with the Mets. Number 420, Wize El Jefe. Number 420.
I love my brother. I do.
Change your mic, Cole. Wize El Jefe joins us this morning. How are you, my man? Great to have you as always.
I'm well, brother. I'm well. Can't complain, man. Been just the last couple of days, just been working on some stuff, working on the websites.
Same.
Working,
I'm so happy.
Great time I'm sorry, go.
I'm so happy I have most of my website updated, and I'm also happy that. All right, I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm expecting a call from the Chicago HBCU Classic Powers That Be to do a radio broadcast September 2nd from Soldier Field.
Ah, congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
And once that call, hey, salute to you and everyone who believed.
It's we believed, but it's your talent, brothers. You doing it. I just support, man. I'm just here to support and any way I can help my brothers out, I try. Listen, my thing is that we can all be successful. We can all do comfortably well in this field. Right now, podcasting is hot. It's not going anywhere.
It's a takeover.
It's not going anywhere.
Internet radio is a takeover as well.
Yeah. Listen, everything we're building, and all of us, we're all building some amazing businesses and
yeah, man.
And everybody's lesson.
Let
me shout. Go ahead.
Let me shout WIRU DB in Chicago for taking this show on. Let me shout KSHP AM 1400 and FM 107.3 in Las Vegas, and the VSX Sports Digital Network for taking us on, and WLEO 26.7 headed up by Ernest Harris, E. Digger in Baltimore, Maryland, for taking us on. So everything is growing by leaps and bounds with all of us, man.
But it's the work, man. It's the work that everybody's putting into everything. Listen, we surround ourselves with some hardworking people.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan McCoffey's always putting out some great content. I'm loving his blog. Playmaker with his blog. I love reading his articles.
Yeah, love it.
Deet's doing his thing. Cool McCain and all the wonderful projects he has going on.
Yes, indeed.
Then the relationship we have with the BS3 network and all the wonderful projects they got going on, especially with the awards show coming up.
Yeah.
Bro, and Cole working his magic, doing what he does. And we just so blessed to be able to have found each other and connected and build something that's amazing right now.
And you and I connected during COVID. You and I connected, I think during COVID.
Yeah.
And
we connected right when I first start. One of the first relationships I started building in podcasting. So I'm saying I'm appreciative of our relationship. I'm appreciative of the person who introduced us, even though we no longer speak to that.
We no longer speak, right? But
it's still, if it wasn't for the fact, because of him.
It was because of that person. I now know, appreciate, and love Wize El Jefe and the work that you do. And I appreciate you and how much work that you put in and how much you've grown. How much you've grown your show. You've gotten better within interviewing. And that was one of your goals, was to get better with interviewing. And I still got to laugh at the first time we hooked up and you asked me, how long do you need me? And I said, about 20 minutes. Nope. We talked an hour and I aired the full hour.
Well, it
was great. It was great.
It's not because it's just the fact that just where I've started it, right? And to where I'm at now, it's night and day. But it's me putting in the work, it's me being consistent with it, me wanting to learn. Like I tell Cole all this all the time. I have no ego when it comes to this. When someone has, like, I have people who come in and offer, they offer their feedback because someone told me it's no longer constructive criticism, it is feedback. Which is much more positive way to spin on it, which is much better than using the negative stuff. So whenever someone has feedback for me, I take it and I run with it. I listen to it and if I truly feel like that applies to me, then if it's something that I like, damn, that made sense. What he said to me made sense. So shout out to everybody out there in the chat that just help. They just inspire. The chat has inspired me a lot. Dudes in the chat,
same here.
They've inspired me. Listen, with the commercials, they have some of the most creative commercials. V-Lock is a funny.
Oh man, he's hilarious.
The
random musings that he does with me on Mondays on the Brian Snow Show have me falling out of my chair laughing. And I'm working on an intro and outro to clip those and put it in a separate podcast on the network. The one person Lord. I definitely shut up. Shut up, Cole. You love it just as much as we do. But in all seriousness,
I don't have enough work.
Yeah, exactly. It's something you wanted. You said you wanted it 2 years ago to be a video billboard for your company.
Billboard. Well, I'm not gonna go because it's actually
thank you. In all seriousness, one of the most important people I got to shout out is my Dr. K, who keeps me on the grind, who keeps me grounded. And when I do have a bad day, she's right there to lift me up and go, look, this is a marathon, not a sprint. She reminds me of that on a daily basis, and her creativeness and what she added to the intro of the show and little things that she'll tell me, about my set and my setup and the suggestions she'll give me. And she's just been right there for me and with me throughout this entire ride. So Dr. K, baby, I love you. Thank you for being in my corner. Thank you for being in our corner, because she now knows about not just the folks in the chat, but the folks I host with. Yeah, man. Talking about her day one, she's it.
Listen, it's a blessing when you have someone who supports what you do. And that's what a relationship, that's what a strong relationship is about, is having a partner that has your back and believes in what you're doing and sees the vision of what you're doing. So we're all blessed here where we have women who see that we're successful at what we're doing, or we're growing what we're doing, and support us. And they have just like your wife, my wife has my back, Cole's wife has his. It's an amazing fact that we have these powerful women behind us, supporting us and pushing us to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have that behind you, and they tell you like you're great, they let you know, I see the greatness in you, and I'm gonna push you to. And then sometimes my wife gets annoying and gets on my nerve, but it's only her pushing me as hard as possible. And
there's some days I really don't want to come in the office and sit in front of the computer and do this and do my catch-up work on my website, which is just about complete. I'll complete it today in between shows. There are days I don't want. Shut up. Show your face, fool. No, I'm kidding. And then there's the mad scientist himself, Mr. Cole Johnson, who, man, I'll tell you what, when I brought him aboard as executive producer, he was not only the right call, he was my only call. Because I got to tell you, I had 4 different people offer their services to me. And like you said to me before, Wize, you get that feeling that, and you know who you can trust, who you can bring in to not only help out, but to be someone that pushes you to be great and to be greater. Man, Cole brought the order to this show and to the Brian Snow Show and all of my projects. And like I said, he was not only the right call, he was my only call. 4 other people offered their services and I didn't feel any of them. But when I talked to Cole, and he didn't even offer, when I talked to Cole, it's like, he's it.
Bro, he's shaped my programming in ways that I've told him how he's helped me shape Stuck in My Mind, how he's helped me make Papi J and Wize a much better show.
Yes.
And it's because I get to sit down and watch his magnificence and firsthand, and learn and just apply a lot of the stuff he tells me. And that's one thing about Cole, is he has no problem sharing what he knows, sharing his knowledge with people that he deems that, like, this person really wants to learn. They really want to know, so I'm gonna help them out.
Yeah.
And that's what the wonderful thing about him is, that if I have a question on anything, I shoot him a message. He'll tell me the truth. He'll let me know, like, you need to work on this, work on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and I'll go and I'll fix it and I'll go work on it, because.
And he jokes with me all the time. Like I called an audible this morning and brought Deets on for the first hour, and we wound up doing the full first hour. And I know he's gonna give me the train in a few minutes, and I got everything here in front of me for hour 2, and we're gonna get to, and folks, we're gonna get to all of this. Everything that he gave me, we're gonna get to all of it. Matter of fact, we're gonna start doing it after the break. We'll take a couple of minutes, and then everything that Cole put on the slate, we're gonna cover for the rest of the show. I promise.
And this concludes a wonderful episode so far of
Y'all know I'm going to cut that. Back in a minute. Will you quit pushing buttons? I'll try again. Back in a minute.
Pushing all the buttons.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Your afternoons just got better with the Brian Snow Show. Weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride, folks.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pros, your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The f*** is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Oh, the fun that we have and the mastery of Cole Johnson. Welcome back. 21 after the hour. Someone asked what the morning brew is. For me, it's Invader Coffee Mexican Chocolate. Ryan sent that to me as a gift, and I haven't stopped drinking it. I mean, the bag's almost empty. Portions of the show brought to you by Recruiting Giants. Our mission is to connect exceptional talent with exceptional companies. We strive to provide innovative and tailored staffing solutions to help organizations build successful teams. By leveraging our expertise and extensive network of industry professionals, we aim to drive growth, foster long-term partnerships, and positively impact the success of both our clients and candidates. We are dedicated to delivering exceptional service, exceeding expectations, and becoming the preferred staffing partner for businesses looking to recruit top talent. For more information, email Mark Zanetto at info@recruitinggiants.com or call 336-587-3659. 336-587-3659. Recruiting Giants, where talent meets opportunity. All right. This is something I was supposed to do earlier this morning. We're going to race through it. It's called the Whip Around, presented by Fanatics. Deadline is fastly approaching, and the Dodgers reacquire an old piece by the name of Kike Hernandez. The Dodgers, the Rays, the Yankees, and Rangers are all buyers at the deadline. I turn to Wize El Jefe. How can the Yankees get back in the race, and who do they need to get?
Man, there's no getting back in this race for the Yankees, man. I'm a realist, man. They
understood.
They need so much, man. Third base, even though DJ LeMay, he was playing a decent third base. There's so much. Rondon pitched a great game yesterday, but that lineup, that we still don't have the left field situation solved.
Mhm.
And it seems like Aaron Judge is coming back Friday. We'll see how he goes. Listen, we never know how it go. We can actually have the opposite of what we had last year, where
Right.
we had an August swoon and we really sucked in August. Maybe in this August we could turn it around and just have a great August, and who knows? I never
Yeah.
count my team out, but right now it doesn't look too good. Then
I'm gonna
there be
call
so many
my
pieces.
I'm gonna call my White Sox out this afternoon because Lucas Giolito, who we'll touch on in a minute, is gone. Ronaldo Lopez is gone, and that lineup is a mess. I'll talk about them this afternoon. Austin Ekeler has been an outspoken advocate for NFL running backs amid the position's current financial market. They're one of the least compensated NFL position groups in terms of average salary. Running backs across the NFL average $1.7 million per year, which is less than kickers who have an average salary of 2.1. The shelf life of the running backs is probably why they're the least compensated position. That's one of my reasons. Let me turn to Wize. What do you think about that?
That's the reason right there. Listen, they do a lot of work, but they last 4.5 years. They don't last. They don't have that much of a shelf life. So it's not like the running backs of old from when we were growing up. Like we had some real workhorses. Like growing up,
Walter Payton,
I guess
Barry
we're spoiled.
Sanders,
I guess we're
Thurman
spoiled.
Thomas.
We had some great running backs when we were growing
Yeah,
up.
we did.
that we see, and yeah, we have some great running. Saquon is a phenomenal back.
Mhm.
But his injuries in the past has him labeled as injury prone.
I said the same about Christian McCaffrey when we found out McCaffrey was on the market, and someone asked me if you were a member of the 49ers brass, would you take a chance on him? And initially my answer was no, for that reason that you mentioned about Saquon Barkley. I wouldn't have taken a chance on him because of his health. But now that he is a member of the 49ers, now that he is extended for a couple of years, and plus he played this year between Carolina and San Francisco completely injury-free. So with the weapon,
go ahead. For the most part had injury. He wasn't really. He had his best season ever. 1,300 rushing yards. Always catching them wide the backfield. He was the reason that Giants team did what they did, made the playoffs. So he was a major part of it. Him and Daniel Jones, and what he did with his legs as well, because the passing part was not to really die for, but it's just to show you though, like a couple of years ago, the kid from Indianapolis was
Jonathan Taylor
on fire. He was the man. He last season he was injured. Really didn't hear much. King Henry, he's been worn down. In fact, he had 4 years of phenomenal years, but you can see that,
I think, a 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, and then
close to a 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, he might have, but you just go see to show you that. Listen, man, these are guys that touch the ball so many times, they get pounded on. They pause.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's I can see why the value has gone down, but
yeah,
he didn't get paid early. That's what it is.
Yeah, Derrick Henry did hit 2,000 in 21. 2,000. He had a 2,027 yards. But the running back market is going to continue to shrink as long as they're injury prone. And there are some feature backs that we have talked about in this conversation that have been absolutely injury prone. We just mentioned two big ones, Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. You mentioned another one, Derrick Henry. So until
Derrick hasn't really been injured. Derrick hasn't really been injured last year, yeah. But before that, he was pretty solid.
He was solid. He was stable.
Yeah. And then Alvin Kamara had some great phenomenal years. Last couple of years, injuries.
Yeah, they're getting worn. The running backs are getting worn down. That's the thing.
And then you got a player like Tony Pollard right now, who's waiting to. He's got to sign his franchise tag. I don't know if he wants to do it. And I don't think Dallas wants to make the same mistake they made with Ezekiel.
The tackle for the Cowboys, his name escapes me right now, is having a fight with the Cowboys.
Oh, Zach Martin.
Zach Martin, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a fight and a half. It's a fight and a half. Sean Payton said, quote, "Can I say this to you? I'm going to be pissed off if this is not a playoff team," close quote. The Denver Broncos quarterback remembers how quickly things came together when he took over the Saints in 2006 and guided them to a division title within their first season. The Broncos, who haven't had a winning campaign since 2016, surely need this culture change. The franchise, with 8 Super Bowl appearances in its history and now 6 coaches in the last 10 years, have become a laughingstock as it paired rookie coach Nathaniel Hackett with veteran quarterback Russell Wilson, and we all know how that went. Is this a playoff team?
Sean Payton makes them better, but I don't know if they're a playoff team. They need to. Listen, I don't. Do they have talent? Yes, they have some talent on that team. Yes,
they do.
But are they a playoff team? They're probably in one of the toughest division besides the NFC East, because you have Justin Herbert in your division. You have the defending champions, of course. You have the defending champions, of course, in your division.
It's going to be.
Raiders are going to suck as long as Josh McDaniels is there.
Thank you.
So you have what you got.
Cole asked me something. Speaking of Josh McDaniels, Cole asked me something a few months ago when Jimmy Garoppolo signed his deal with the Raiders, and now he is he has been cleared. He has been declared healthy. He's ready to practice. Cole asked me, how will Garoppolo perform with the Raiders? And my direct quote was, let me get this button here. Quote, "I think he'll do fine as long as Josh McDaniels isn't calling the plays." Close quote. I think he'll do fine as long as Josh McDaniel isn't handling the offense. But we all know that they only have an offensive coordinator in Vegas for name only. Josh McDaniels is going to call the plays. He's going to drive Garoppolo into the ground even further. And the Raiders, for that matter.
And they have a situation that running back as well.
Yes,
Josh
they do.
Is also
Josh Jacobs.
So if they get Josh Jacobs in camp with Devontae Adams, thank you for trading down Waller. We appreciate it. So
Waller's going to be a weapon for you guys in New York.
I'm so happy. I'm excited for this season.
As you should be. As you
should
be.
On us, people don't think we've made the right.
Listen.
Stuff, so.
Like I told you, and I would always tell you, I have always been a fan of Big Blue. I am never sleeping on the New York Football Giants.
We got to be honest. They've sucked the last few years prior to this regime.
They have, but this past year, the hope for me, the hope's been restored with.
The regime in office and place now is amazing. What they're doing and what they've been able to do with this roster and the players they've been able to bring in, it's been nothing but phenomenal. And to turn it around so fast, we're just gonna listen. I'm just excited. I'm counting down the days. Ready. What is it? When is the Hall of Fame game next week or something?
Yes.
Look at that.
That's the signal for football. Yeah. We'll cut it here with this version of the whip around. Jonathan Taylor has fired back at Jim Irsay. Colts center Jim Irsay to share his dismay with the running back situation. And he said, quote, "We have negotiated a CBA that took years of effort and hard work to compromise in good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after that is, in fact, inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith." Taylor is scheduled to make $4.3 million during this season, and because Taylor was a second-round pick, he's not subject to a fifth-year team option that first-round picks can get under the NFL's collective bargaining agreement. We mentioned Jonathan Taylor during the whip around, but unfortunately, given this past year, he's going to be connected with the term injury prone because there were two situations where he wanted to come back and couldn't. And quite frankly, his ankle is the reason they haven't negotiated an extended deal. And why, as we talked about it, how running backs, A, take a beating, and B, their shelf life is short, very short.
I can't remember when was the last running back that had, besides Adrian Peterson, like who's had a career of more than 10 years recent. Like Adrian Peterson is an anomaly. He's one of a kind.
AP was the last running back that I know of that's had a 10-year career.
Yeah.
He's the last one.
I don't
Derrick
think
Henry, I think, is in his 7th year. I think he's in his 7th year. Let's look this up. Derrick Henry.
I don't think he's been in the league 10 years.
Right.
He probably 5, 6, or 7. Yes, I think maybe 7. I
think he's in his 7th year. Christian McCaffrey is in his 6th year. All right, and it's like you said, Wize. They don't. There's not been a running back in a while that's played 10 years. If you play 10 years, that's something. Given today's climate of running backs,
listen, that's an accomplishment, man. That's a second contract,
and
in some cases, a third contract.
Very worthy of a second contract. Henry played 16 games last year, 16 of the 17, and had 1,538 rushing yards. Offensive Player of the Year in 2 publications. But that's...
Well, I guess since the Titans didn't do too well, weren't so good, it just didn't look well.
But with that, how did they fall so fast? The Titans, they had a 7-3 record, running away with the AFC South, and then the floor fell out from under them.
I don't know. I think quarterback play. I don't know.
Henry got injured right around the time they went to Arrowhead.
Yeah,
they were 6-2 then, and that's when the Titans started to dip very hard.
Yeah, this will be his 8th season coming in. So
he might have a shot at me. He have a shot at 10. He might have a shot at 10.
If he keeps running, do you think a trade happens with Derrick Henry for him to get to his 10th season? And Cole, I'll ask you the same question. Do the Titans work on trading Derrick Henry? Is this it? Is this it for him because of the injury? Because a lot of what happens with Henry this season is going to depend on who's calling the signals.
The way the running back market is, I would say no. It might be as cold as they just simply say, either we'll buy you out or we'll just simply flat out release you, and you would have to hope to catch on somebody else. Hence why at the tail end of his career, that's what happened with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey is entering his 6th season. And I say as long as he stays with Frisco and how versatile that offense is, they'll have a chance to keep him healthy. With Jonathan Taylor, as I said, you can chalk this last season up to injury, true. But is it fair that the stigma of injury prone will now apply to Jonathan Taylor since he's at the end of his rookie contract? Wize, I turn to you first.
You got to look at what is his average numbers of missed games per season. Like, I think last year was his first real season where he really missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I think he played most of his games. So, but again, even if you have your first 3 seasons, you don't miss any games, and then the last season you just played, you miss a few games. People they're gonna label you injury prone so they don't have to pay you.
And that's, I think, unfairly is what's going to happen. Even with the injury, Taylor had 861 yards. He had 861 yards on 192 carries. And it's unfair that he's going to be labeled injury prone when he, since 2020, has been everything for the Colts. Everything.
And that's the problem. That's the problem when you have to rely on your running back for every. That's why. Thank God they've been able to add weapons, and now we don't have to rely on Saquon so much.
Right.
I'm saying, but that was the problem with Saquon. We've relied on him so much.
Mm-hmm. Taylor missed 2 games in 2020, none in 21, where he was the NFL's leading rusher, and 6 games in 2022. Ryan McCarthy says he's unfairly labeled as injury prone.
Yeah.
And it is unfair.
And that's what happens, though. But that's how they devalue them.
And I blame the Colts organization for sticking Taylor with rundown quarterbacks. I blame the Colts organization for that. Now, my original disdain and true shock, was when they drafted Anthony Richardson. But in talking with Matt Taylor, who I'll have on this afternoon, the voice of the Colts, I kind of changed my tune a little bit. Do I want to see more from Anthony Taylor and how he runs this offense? Yes. Do I want to see what he fully brings to this offense? Yes. And a lot of it's going to depend on who's up front. And of course, I'm talking about the offensive line and how they respond to what has been a terrible year for the Colts. Because 2 years ago, 20 and 21, their line was absolutely fantastic. Last year, they allowed the most sacks in the NFL, 60 sacks, 60 of them. So it's going to depend. Anthony Richardson's success, as well as Jonathan Taylor's success, is going to depend on that offensive line. It's going to depend on an offensive line.
That's what any team, though. That's what any team. Any team who has a great offensive line has a chance of winning, man. Because you open up so many different things. You're able to do so many things with your offense when you have a great offensive line.
True. Very true. Looking for the best way to experience live events? SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you use the code Snowman Multimedia, you get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, and that's only with the code Snowman Multimedia. And Wize, I thank you for turning me on to ChatGPT, because that's how I got that read. Take a break, and when we come back, Rob Manfred has been extended, Shohei Ohtani is staying put, and all kinds of other frivolity. Back in a few minutes.
This is Snowman in the Morning. This is Snowman in the Morning.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Your afternoons just got better with the Brian Snow Show. Weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride, folks. Well, we are back, and so is Shohei Ohtani. He is staying put. The Angels put an end to that rumor, and they acquired Lucas Giolito in the process. The former White Sox pitcher is now headed to the Angels, along with Ronaldo Lopez, for a couple of top picks. I'll talk about the White Sox this afternoon and what they need to do, but the focus is on Shohei Ohtani, and he's staying put. Let me turn to Wize. How much of a mega deal is he going to get?
Who, Shohei Ohtani?
Yes, sir.
I don't think he's gonna leave the Angels. I think the Angels are gonna put the money in his bank, but if it's gonna surpass what Aaron Judge made, that's for sure.
$500 million, maybe.
It could be pushing $400 million.
Yeah. Okay, Mike Trout got $400 million. Bryce Harper got $340. Does Shohei? Here's a question for the chat. Let's light the chat up. We haven't done that all morning. Let's do it now. Does Shohei Ohtani become the first to get $500 million, to get $500 million in a deal, in a mega deal?
I don't know. To me, it was gonna have to do a lot with. Because you gotta say it's so much on him. He's got to pitch.
He's got
to hit.
Mm-hmm. And he does, and that's the only position, and that's the key position in the field that he plays. Only position in the field that he plays. He pitches. When he's in the lineup batting, he's DH. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he doesn't hit when on the days that he's on the mound. So the Angels are doing that correctly. Mike Trout is scheduled to come back in 4 weeks' time, so the Angels' prospect of making the playoffs has gone down the tubes. What do they do? What do the Angels do to build around those two?
Listen, if they don't trade him, then they must feel that they got a shot at re-signing him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's plenty of teams that are willing to offer him $500 million.
You know, the one team I thought would really take a run at him before the Angels made the deals that they did was the Giants, to look for somebody to feature. And they have the farm system to do it. The Dodgers were in play. And, according to a lot of rumors, the Yankees were in play. What would the Yankees had to have given up to get Shohei Ohtani?
A lot.
Yeah.
And they have some great. Right now, I'm ready to just give up. I'm not ready to give up any other prospects. I'm ready to give up some of the older players. Start giving some of these young players an opportunity to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's time to really move Jason Dominguez up to AAA. Start getting him ready for next year.
Yeah.
Start moving up that kid that everybody wants. Roderick Arias. To get him ready. We got some pitching prospects down below. We got Spencer Jones, who's a left-handed. They're talking about a left-handed Aaron Judge.
Oh wow.
We have some great prospects.
Y'all got some dudes.
I just want them to start giving these, and I would like to see Spencer Jones up soon, because he played in college ball. I think he's a little bit more ready for the pros than some of our other prospects, because he got to play college ball. I think college ball to me it kind of prepares you for the minor leagues and should help you get to the minors a little bit quicker than had you been drafted straight out of high school.
To Cole Johnson, I believe he's still in with us. Which team realistically do you think, Cole, had a big shot at Shohei Ohtani should they have made a trade?
Ooh. Giants, you were on the money with the Giants.
I really thought the Giants would take a shot at him. I did.
I think they would have if they felt. I think I think they would have taken him if they could have extended him.
Yeah.
Besides
That's
them,
that's a good point.
Yeah. Besides them, obviously the Yankees, because they have the pockets for it.
Right. And they would have immediately extended him, but as Wize said, Jason Dominguez would have been on the table.
Yeah, and Wize actually pinpointed the problem as to why he didn't pull it, because Ohtani would be a Yankee at the expense of that farm system being gutted.
Oh yeah,
and the Yankees do not need to have that happen. Yeah, they do not need to have that happen.
And the same would have happened with the Giants.
And the same would happen with the Giants.
Anybody who makes an offer has to come with a lot of value that is going to entice the Angels to make the deal.
Yes,
and what you're going to want is top of the line prospects.
And the only other team that would have made sense for them to try for him, but I knew they were not going to, would be the Braves.
Yeah, but they are a bunch of young stars gelling.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're together, and that farm system would have been blown to bits.
Right, and they made the right move to not actually take feelers for him.
Mm-hmm. And the Giants took feelers, but it would have been at the expense of their farm system. The Giants, in my opinion, were the top team had really put it in play to take a shot at Ohtani. And if you think about it, let me go to Cole in the back. No one mentioned the Giants in taking a shot at Ohtani. It was all the Dodgers, the Yankees, and no one mentioned the Braves either.
Right.
But all four teams that we mentioned here, gentlemen, their farm system would have been blown to smithereens had they taken a shot at Ohtani. That's the price they would have had to pay.
Well, in terms of getting people talking, it made a lot of sense for them to say, he could go to the Dodgers or he could go to the Yankees, because you're dealing with the two biggest markets in the country.
True.
But I knew that the Angels was not going to want to deal him in L.A. Imagine if he became a Dodger and and the Dodgers would go on and they probably would get a World Series ring. Imagine how bad the Angels would have felt. If they would still see this guy produce in the same area where they are, but he's not an Angel.
Mm-hmm. It would have been a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a royal slap in the face. Last but not least, Matthew Stafford on trade inquiries are, quote, flattering, I guess, but he plans to stick with the Rams. He had even less doubt he would play for the Rams. And when other teams called to inquire about trading for the Super Bowl champion quarterback, Stafford said he made it clear where he preferred to be. He says, quote, I see it as flattering, I guess, that other teams would reach out and want me to come play for them. I just know I'm really happy where I am, playing for this team, playing for this coach, and for these fans, close quote. The 35-year-old Stafford fully participated in the opening practice of training camp as he readies to begin his 15th NFL season. Let me go to the back with Cole first with this on our final subject of the day. Who the hell wants to trade for Matthew Stafford?
Any team that's desperate enough to have a QB that has a Super Bowl ring now in his coffers. You mentioned it. He's 35. The Rams don't really want him because they look at him and it's like, okay, you did what you came here for.
You did what we brought you in to do.
Mm-hmm.
We drafted Stetson Bennett, who eventually is going to take over as quarterback, but who would want to take a chance on a 35-year-old quarterback who the last 2 seasons has been injury prone?
A team like the Titans would. That's how stupid they are. They would.
True.
They would take him. I mean, in a heartbeat. They would. A team like the Falcons probably would. Let me see. A team. Well, if Bryce Young wasn't developed enough, a team like the Panthers would.
But see, here's a tie-in. The Panthers named Bryce Young their starting quarterback. Who saw that coming? We all did. Because that's why they drafted him number 1 overall on that Wednesday night on April 28th. But
teams who would want to get Stafford, it is real simple. It would be he would have to come. He would have to start for a couple of years. Meanwhile, they would have drafted a prospect or would be in line to draft a prospect to have him tutor a year or have him see for a couple of years, or he'll come ready and he'll just simply supplant Stafford whenever he walks up to the sunset and that guy's ready to start. So he'll be for those teams, but I know the Rams want to put a foot in his behind and shove him straight out of SoFi.
Yeah. After last year, why would we be surprised? After last year, why would we be surprised? And again, Stetson Bennett is waiting in the wings. And I don't think, let me go to Wize here. I don't think it'll take long before Bennett's the starting quarterback of the Rams. I'd say 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh man, listen. More than likely sometime during the season, because he's more than likely going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. He's going to miss some time. So if Stetson Bennett comes in and does the job, we might never see Matthew Stafford play another game for the Rams. So
okay, let me ask this question, and I know I'm being totally presumptuous in talking about this, but I go to Cole first. I'll make it a 2-part question. A, how quick do the Rams hand Stetson Bennett the keys? And B, do they hand him the keys in week 1?
Oh, to answer that second question, no, although I think they should. To answer the first question, probably time when we get to December. So I would say week 13, 14. I think that's when they will probably hand the keys over to Stetson Bennett. Because unfortunately by then, I do not see the Rams competing or contending for anything, whether it's a Super Bowl or the NL, or the NFC West. I don't see them contending for anything. So I think they'll be out of contention by then. That is when you'll see Bennett in, because the Rams want to see if they have something with him.
And we talked about running backs. Let's look at the Rams. Who the hell is going to tote the ball for them? And I say the same there. I say, since we're talking NFC West, let's wrap it up there. 3 of the 4 teams do not have a running back. Well, the only one that have capable running backs is San Francisco. I'm not saying that to be biased. I'm saying that because I've seen the rosters.
Well, now it looks like it might be Cam Akers again. It looks like he
again
and Charmin Bay mended fences. So it looks
so
like
they kissed him. So they kissed him made up.
Yeah, kiss made up, and looks like they're going to try to they're going to kick the tires on Akers in the backfield again.
But that's a mistake. I'm sorry, but that's a mistake. He's not healthy. Am I wrong?
I don't think that matters. But yes, you're
not
wrong, but I don't think that matters to them.
Seattle doesn't have a running back because Rashad Penny is gone. Who's going to tote the rock for them?
Ooh, that was a big mistake to let him go.
Big mistake. He's been 1,000-yard rusher 2 of the last 5 years for them. He got them into the playoffs last year, and now they don't have anybody to tote the rock for them. No one. So now what? Now what?
I don't know. Rely on Geno Smith
again? Well, they did extend him.
Well, I mean, Geno's not a runner.
True.
Although he did have a great year, but yeah, he's not really known as a runner or a scrambler even.
And then there's the curious case of the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, and then you have a quarterback who does nothing but, except for launching Hail Murrays.
The only play that's made Kyler Murray to this point. One more team we'll look at while we got about 180 seconds here, and I got to go to my hometown for this. And I know people are going to laugh when I say this, but there are pundits out there right now that say it's all about the Bears going, y'all ready for this? 12-5. I only have one question for this. How?
Wait, they think that this is the mid-'80s?
Yep.
I mean, look, if they're that hot on Justin Fields,
there are pundits at the NFL Network. I'm not making this up. That say the Bears are going to go 12-5.
I'm sorry. With a receiver core that is led by DJ Moore and Chase Claypool, what
Dear
makes
God.
you think?
Dear
What
God.
makes you think that the Bears are going to go 12-5? Really?
And there's no
well,
offensive.
they're not in a great division though. Like Detroit is probably like the class of that division because Minnesota's defense is not that great.
And we end
They
with
have a great offense, but they no longer have Dalvin Cook. So
Nope.
now it's going to be all on Jefferson and Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Two Chains. You really expect Kirk Two Chains Cousins to lead the Vikings to a division title again?
They do.
I don't know why. And they paid him. And they paid him. All right, y'all. We got to get out of here. Thank you, Wize. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, chat, for everyone. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to our advertisers. And have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.